Good morning, traders. I hope most of you are enjoying your holidays and taking time out from the charts. I wanted to take this opportunity to quickly recap some of the biggest trades that we've taken in 2015. Um, Overall, we've had quite a profitable year, and we've managed to capture some big moves even before most of the mainstream technical analysis was able to get hold of it. It's a particularly good moment, and this recap of the top trades of 2015 using Renko charts is of interest as we try to understand what has worked in the past and hopefully keep applying this into the future. So, the big ones. I've highlighted the GBPCHF, which gave us a total of 250 pips in profit. More recently, we had the dollar yen, which gave us about 230 pips in profit. We had the Aussie Kiwi. This particular setup gave us over 600 pips in profit, and I must um, I must highlight the fact that the Aussie Kiwi trade has been something which I've been monitoring since July, August of the year. And there's something very interesting on the Aussie Kiwi, and I will touch upon this as we go through the details. And I think a few months ago, probably around October or November, um, I also mentioned the euro pound, which gave us about 350 pips. So let's take a look at each of these trades and see what went on. Okay, so here is the pound Swiss franc. What we noticed was the head and shoulders that was formed here, and in fact, if you could if for those interested, you could simply check on the older videos, and you would see that we traded the pound Swiss franc to the upside. We went long and booked profits near 1.53, and at the same time we went short from 1.53 and booked profits near 1.50, which was based off the head and shoulders pattern. So honestly speaking, the pound franc gave us a lot more than 250 pips that's mentioned here. We had about 300 pips to the downside, and I think about 100 pips to the upside. So yeah, basically the British pound and Swiss franc was where things started off, where we started focusing on the big moves. The dollar yen was more recent. I think it was in November, where I mentioned the head and shoulders pattern that was formed. We took a shot at 123.3, and we targeted 121, which is just one of the many levels that we're focusing. We are looking at 120, 117, and 112 in the long term. So this trade is likely going to eat up most of the next year, I'm sure. But going in short at 123 level was a great idea, because as you can see, that price has already managed to move down to 120 point something here. So the Aussie Kiwi, as I mentioned, was a great trade setup, because again, for those interested, you could take a look at the analysis as well as the updates on the website, and you could see that we identified the inverse head and shoulders pattern long before price action was even forming the right shoulder. We took a short around 1.1298 and targeted 1.0698, and it gave us a profit of about 600 pips. And right now we're looking at a potential upside move back towards 1.12 and eventually towards 1.2 level, which will mark the measured move of the head and shoulders pattern. The Aussie Kiwi has taken a lot of patience and a lot of effort basically. But again, the Aussie Kiwi is something to look forward to into the new year, similar to the dollar yen shorts. The Euro British pound was again a very recent trade. The most interesting bit about it was we went long near 0.705 right here, and we expected head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders pattern to form, but at this point, as you can see, price kind of broke down lower and instead made a double bottom. So anyways, the setup was aiming for a target of 0.74 and 0.78 eventually, of which we reached the first target at 74. We expect a bit of a pullback here before the neckline or the double bottoms resistance can be broken, which will see price action move eventually towards 0.78. So far, Euro British Pound has given us 350 pips in profit, and this is again another trade to look forward to in 2016, where we keep the longs and continue to target 0.78. What's interesting about Euro British Pound was the fact that we managed to enter, I think, a few weeks before the ECB's meeting in December. And back then, if you recollect, most of the sentiment in the market was very bearish on the euro. But then Draghi came along and surprised the markets, and the euro just shot up like crazy. This is a great example on catching a market bottom, and yeah, it does take a lot of patience and it keeps you frustrated at times, but I think all said and done, the rewards are definitely worth the pain. So this is something that we would be looking forward to into the new year as well. So folks, that's a quick wrap. These are the biggest trades of 2015, and hopefully you will continue to support the website. You can join us on the Google Plus page, and where I update both the long-term as well as short-term trade setups. For those of you who are just joining us, and if you're curious, feel free to navigate through the website, the analysis section, where I'm sure you will find a lot more of context into what I've just presented. So that's a wrap. Thanks for following the website. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in 2016.